RB being bigged up as the super team of the split. That was Schalke's honor last split in spring. They went undefeated. At the moment, they are looking very much like the new guys on the block. RB just tearing them to pieces. And one thing I want to mention about this as well is a lot of people, when they saw Tal and Mujin were coming over from Korea, Mujin, of course, with Challenger Series experience on Dark Wolves in Korea, they said these are going to be the carries for the team. We saw his Elise in CSQ. We saw the power from Tal with Gangplank or Jace or Rengar top. But it's Cedrian and Magifelix who are stepping up today. And this is showing their experience from Euronics and from the national leagues here in Europe, showing up on the big stage.
The big thing that we said about these two specific players is they have incredible amounts of individual skill. Magifelix showed that from being rank 1 challenger on the European ladder, but they have not yet had to step up to the level of competition that we have here in the Challenger Series. And my word, what a way to debut your Challenger Series performances. Cedrian and Magifelix playing excellently here. And the driving force, that rock-solid Thal, Mujin, Kasing combo still there, doing exactly what we expected of them. This has been a proactive game from RB. They've been looking to pressure turrets. They've been doing well in these mid-game teamfights where we expected them to do well. And the more space you can squeeze from Schalke, the easier it is for you to finish this game out.
And I wonder if Schalke just put too many eggs in one basket here. Their team composition screams to me of an LCS team composition, someone who have that degree of coordination, that degree of synergy. They are still only 2 members of the team that played last split that were so incredibly strong. Now they've got all of these new subs in. They've got Memento, they've got Kadril, they've got Norskeren. They haven't had as much time to play as a unit. Maybe they should have just gone for winning lanes or something with a little bit less strategy behind it.
I definitely would love to have seen a more proactive pick in the mid lane. I know Karma fits so well into a Twitch composition, but you already have the Tahm Kench as a form of protection. You already have Memento and Smitty for some disengage. Would have loved to have seen Kadril with all of that experience in the North Korean Challenger ladder. Pick something that can be more proactive in lane, pick something that can be more proactive.
Syndra was open.
Yeah, Syndra was there and open. She's had a massive presence in every single league, still one of the most popular mid laners in the game. Here comes a teleport from the back line.
Behind Smitty, he's going to try and get away, does have the flash. Slicing Maelstrom comes in as well. Memento there, Magifelix with the Stand United will get knocked back by the cast. Mujin stepping up to the front line. They're going to get one chain down, but the rest of Schalke are just around the corner. Mujin jumps his way away. Here come the rest of RB, 2 members in through that Tribush. Cedrian and Kasing looking for the roots. They get them onto Norskeren. There's the Stranglethorns as well. Knock up. Not quite going to get the damage down. Both teams a little bit apprehensive about continuing this fight.
Rat-a-tat-tat is going to give the zoning potential that it does so have.
Spray and Pray, mate.
Oh,
it's back. It's back to the good name.
It's back, I forgot. Yeah, it's back to Spray and Pray, the better name. So Spray and Pray, you know, when it gets activated, it immediately creates zoning potential because you do not want to step into a Twitch with a Spray and Pray active, even if he is, you know, miles behind where you'd want him to be at this point in the game. You still have to respect the damage that it can do, especially in choke point areas like that. It was wise of RB to back off. They went hell for leather trying to pick up Norskeren there off the back of that Stranglethorns, but as soon as Upset procs that Spray and Pray, they knew they had to back off because they would take too much team-wide damage there. Didn't quite get the engage they wanted. Magifelix kind of put his dancing shoes on there, but didn't manage to find that catch onto Smitty J, and that was a really good piece of presence of mind from Smitty J to back off from that teleport. And you could see the disengage in action from Schalke. Maybe this is an inkling of where this game could be going if we go later on.
Let's have a quick look at the sort of goal disadvantages here for Schalke. They're 1,000 down in that middle lane, as expected, with Magifelix getting a couple of kills. AD carry is $1.5 grand behind. It's 1.5k that Upset is in the deficit.
$1.5 grand behind, mate.
$1.5 grand behind, mate. It's a pony. It's a horse and a pony that he's losing out on, and now they're going to lose out on this dragon as well, scoundrel.
Is that your Cockney accent?
I can't do accents, mate. Cannot do them for the life of me. I can just about do the Welsh one because apparently with Vedius all he does is roll his R's, so it's just like brilliant, man.
Yeah, that's actually fairly impressive.
I know, thank you. Anyway, 6,000 gold lead still here for RB. It's the same as it was at the 17-minute mark, and they haven't really got much more since then. Did just pick up an Infernal Dragon, have good vision control of the red side jungle of Schalke Null Fear, so there might be a Baron on the cards.
I think it would
Baron, as Vedius would say.
Baron? I can't roll my R's, so it's impossible for me to do. I think it would be unwise to potentially force a Baron without having gained some sort of advantage across the map. You know, I think it's up to Magifelix potentially to get a pick off, and then they could force an area where they either bait them into Baron to force a fight with that heavy engage that they've got, or they can straight up do it with that, you know, basically unsmiteable kill potential of the Callista. You know, we all know how powerful that can be. 264 stacks if you can get it on your spears. It's basically unsmiteable, the amount of damage that the Callista can do there. So they do have good global objective presence with that Callista. Remember, there's something that a lot of people forget about what Callista can bring to a team. Great global objective control because of the ability to just basically outsmite any jungler.
Across the board, starting to see first items being picked up, well, second items in most cases. Tal actually went for Sunfire Cape first, which is not too common a buy, although some Shens are still picking it up. Blade of the Ruin King onto Smitty, Blade as well on the Twitch, and it is an Ardent Sensor, as Jaws said in Picks and Bans, for K-Draw there, alongside the Athene's Unholy Grail.
But that just plays into the line of the fact that we are looking at
Protect the Twitch.
Protect the Twitch, you know, and you buff that movement, that attack speed up, you make him more and more effective during his Spray and Pray ultimate. Interesting that the Sunfire Cape comes through here, along with the Tiamat, which we see Shens often pick up as their second item. It helps them shove lanes out, especially later in the game, because Shen does not have any natural innate wave clear in his kit. And also, Shen is likely going to be untested in these team fights. He can sit there and just let Sunfire Cape burn, because you know they're going to be more concerned with Magic Felix, they're going to be more concerned with Muujin and Cedrian. Shen can get a lot of value by just literally standing in the middle of a team fight with that Sunfire Cape. So, you know, that might actually get a bit more value for him in terms of damage in these teamfight situations.
I'm trying to work out what his next item is going to be, because he's got a Crystalline Bracer.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, in my head, I was like, that doesn't build into Titanic Hydra, which is what I would expect. Redemption, Righteous Glory, or Warmogs are his three choices. Probably Warmogs or Righteous Glory.
Yeah.
I don't see Redemption, but it's still very odd to see that as a possibility. Probably going to be the Warmogs for the tankiness, but again, not something we commonly see on top lane. Is that RB, we're known for these eclectic build paths in CSQ as well. We saw a lot of the time Muujin would get Locket of the Iron Solari, like second item on Lee Sin, after just getting his Warrior's Enchant. So there's a few different options
I think
all the way around.
Because he's got a Ruby Crystal.
It's Warmogs, yeah.
So it's more likely to be Warmogs, although we know that Ruby Crystal could eventually go to Titanic Hydra.
Exactly.
So let's not make any decisions, but I imagine it would be Warmogs, just to give him that big, beefy frontline power. I mean, Righteous Glory, you don't really need any more engage than you've already got, right? So you're not really going to be running at the enemy team, because that's too obvious for things like Smitty J and Memento to find a disengage with. What you are going to be doing is using Muujin to engage, using his Elastic Slingshot. So
will be interesting to see how the game does continue to progress. I'm just saying, actually, we were looking at the build path of Righteous Glory. That did used to build out Catalyst of the Aeons on 711, so he could still be building that because it's 711 and we're looking at 712 build path.
Yeah, so it's Glacial Shroud on 712,
yes.
So it could still be.
We don't know. We'll wait. We'll find out. Let's talk about something else for the time being. 25 minutes in, it's a 7,000 gold lead, slightly extended here by RB. They've got a Rylai's completed on Kasing, and they once again are looking to set up vision in this red side jungle of Schalke.
Let's give credit to Schalke where they deserve it. They have done a really good job of stalling out. They have kind of stemmed the flow of that gold going over to RB. RB have not yet found huge opportunities off the back of that one team fight that they performed excellently in.
It's what we said they needed to do.
Exactly.
As well.
The defensive vision across the blue and red side jungle for Schalke, their ability to clear waves, shove out, and make sure that nothing else is going over to Schalke apart from that dragon, which they just couldn't contest. They're playing very well into their win conditions.
I actually think this is a wise choice from RB. Like, you say Schalke have delayed really well, but that's because RB have been looking for picks. Now they just say, okay, we've got vision. We know we've got vision control of Baron. If they come and fight us, then we pulled them into the fight. We've got Stand United on Tal, who's still near enough base, so they can just go for this. There is a ward there now. Could have kept a pink ward there to keep the control, but they actually... There's the Stand United. Magic Felix has just killed Upset, and that's all of Schalke's damage just gone in a heartbeat. RB can continue to look for an engage here. Tal them in the front line. The rest of RB are on their way. Schalke will be able to back away for the time being until Kadril gets knocked back and Muujin unable to catch with the Elastic Slingshot.
So that was really good move from RB, because it was either going to do one or two things. They get Baron, or they force Schalke to come to them, which they needed to do in the first place. They want to bring Schalke to them to force these fights. And obviously, if Schalke have to make aggressive moves, they basically do the engaging for RB. Suddenly, all of that disengage becomes useless when you're the one that is seeking a fight. RB goes in!
Tal with the flank, Muujin jumps in as well. There's the wombo combo. One dead, looking for more. Kadril will fall as well. RB going to chase Memento and North.